Okay, we are back with the Musaf Kedusha, or the Musaf Kedusha. Since I'm already established a pattern of being inconsistent, I might as well just stick with it. Since everybody calls it the Kedusha, that's what we're going to call it. Now, there's a lot of things going on. There's choreography. There's different melodies that you can use. I'm going to do it in one particular way that I know the congregation here knows. But obviously there are so many different possibilities here. I'm just going to present it as simply as possible, and then if you know other ways of doing it, if you hear other ways of doing it, let me know. I also know other ways, but I'm going to keep it simple right here. So we're going to start with the Na'aritcha up here. And we're going to start with what is probably the most commonly known melody to this, even though there are people out there that that don't like it because it's old. But you know what? It's an oldie but a goodie, and people do like it. And ultimately, we're out here trying to get people to participate. So if you know of a melody you think people will like better, sei gesund. Don't be bashful, as long as it fits the words and doesn't make mincemeat of them. All right, so I'm going to stick with the tried and true for this tutorial. So let's get started. It goes like this. Naritzecha v'nakdishecha kesod tziach sarfei kodesh hamakdishim shimcha bakodesh kakatuv al yad neviecha v'kara ze el ze ve'amar. And generally, you'll pause here at this line. The congregation will chant this line. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech ha'aretz kevodo. And you'll repeat it. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech ha'aretz kevodo. And of course, as you say each Kadosh, 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 you'll rise on your tippy toes. Okay? Then we continue with, I continue with Nusach here at Kevodo, although there are plenty of opportunities for melodies if you know something there. So here's what I do. Kevodo malei olam, משרתיו שואלים זה לזה, איה מקום כבודו לעומתם, ברוך יאמרו. And then the congregation will come in with Baruch kivod Adonai mimekomo. And make sure you say mimekomo, because nobody else will. So after the congregation says that, you'll repeat it, Baruch kivod Adonai mimekomo. And here's a little melody that I like to use. It's a Karl Bach melody. It goes like this. Mimekomo hu yifen ברחמים ויחונם המייחדים שמו ערב ובוקר בכל יום תמיד פעמיים באהבה שמע אומרים שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו הוא מלכנו הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו שנית לעיני כל חי ילאי די 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 ללאי די די lai dai di lai lai di dai 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 lai di dai 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 di dai. You could obviously continue with that nigun as long as you sense that the congregation is behind you, but I usually end it there. And then I will go into the Ahava Rabbah mode, which is a different mode of Nusach, right here, with the words Liot Lachem Lelohim, right here. Lihiot Lachem Lelohim. And the congregation will chant Ani Adonai Elohechem, and you will chant Ani Adonai Elohechem, and keep going. Uvdivrei kodshecha katuv lemor. And then the congregation will chant Yimloch Adonai leolam Elohayich Tzion Ledor vador, hallelujah. And then you'll repeat, Yimloch Adonai leolam, Elohayich Tzion, Ledor vador, hallelujah. And then you continue right in, continuing with Nusach. Ledor vador, nagid godlecha. That's godlecha. Godlecha ulenetzach netzachim kedushatecha nakdish v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed ki el melech gadol v'kadosh ata baruch ata Adonai. And you'll pause for them to say Baruch hu Baruch Shemo Ha'el HaKadosh. You can do that, and then you'll be silent for the rest of the Amidah until we get to the Kaddish Shalem. Now, you can also sing songs here. You could sing Ledovador, Ledovador, Ledovador nagid gon lecha, Ledovador, Ledovador, Ledovador nagid gon lecha, Ulenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nakdish, kedushatecha nakdish. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. כי אל מלך גדול, כי אל מלך גדול, וקדוש וקדוש אתה. כי אל מלך גדול, כי אל מלך גדול, וקדוש וקדוש אתה. And then you go right into Nusach Baruch Ata Adonai, Baruch hu Baruch Shemo, Ha'el HaKadosh. And that's another good way to do it. A melody that people really like to sing, at least in my congregation. You might find some people that think that's an old-fashioned melody and they don't like it. But again, we're all about getting people involved. And in this particular congregation, that works. So a couple other things I want to point out here. You'll notice that I sang straight through this line. I did not stop and let the congregation chant this. And the reason why is because I wanted to continue the song. I want to continue the nigun that I started at Mi Makomo. I did not want to stop. Now, if you wanted to stop and let people chant that responsively, meaning they chant it first and then you can repeat it after them, there are ways to do that, but I'm not going to go through that right now. You may find that this is an inconsistency that you can't hang with, and if that's the case, I accept that. I accept the charge. Again, I'll just reiterate that my reason for doing so is because I like to keep the flow going and I don't like to interrupt it, because usually I do like to sing this in the same melody. And well, that's it. I don't have to apologize anymore. So finally, the one thing that you notice here, We've got another Shabbat Shuvah insertion, Baruch Atah Adonai HaMelech HaKadosh. You would say that in place of Ha'el HaKadosh if you happen to be leading the service on the Shabbat between Yom Kippur, between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Otherwise, this line here is not relevant for you. Okay? So after Ha'el HaKadosh, you're going to go into the silent part of the Heicha Kedusha, which means that the congregation is doing this all together, and the first three blessings, I should say, and the Kedusha is the third blessing, and then the congregation, you and the congregation, are going to continue the Amidah in silence, and so there is no full repetition when you're doing it this way. Okay. You will also do the Kedusha when you're doing a full repetition as well, but let me rephrase that, because I think what I just said was a little bit confusing. You're going to do the Kedusha as the Shliach Tzibur. You're always going to be doing the Kedusha. This particular one is the Musaf Kedusha, the Musaf Kedusha or the Musaf Kedusha. I keep getting confused there, but in any case, as the Baal Tefillah, as the Shliach Tzibur, you're always going to be doing the Kedusha. The difference is that you may be doing a Heicha Kedusha. In this case, if you're listening to this, if I made this recording for you, which for my congregation, you are probably going to be doing a Heicha Kedusha or Heicha Kedusha, which means that the congregation will chant along with you the Avot, Gevurot, and the Kedusha. And then at the end of the Kedusha, at the end of this line, Ha'el HaKadosh, everybody's going to continue silently. The other way to do it is everybody's going to daven the entire Amidah silently, and then you, as the Shliach Tzibur, are going to repeat the entire Amidah aloud, including this Kedusha. The difference this time would be, if you're doing the entire repetition after Ha'el HaKadosh, you'll continue and chant the next blessing, which in this case is Tikanta Shabbat, if we're talking about the Musaf Kedusha. The Musaf Kedusha. This is driving me crazy. In any case, those are the ins and outs of the of this Musaf Kedusha. The Kadosh Kadosh Kadosh. That's the only place where you have any physical choreography that you should be aware of. Oh, actually, that's not true. On Baruch Kavod Adonai Mi Makomo, on Baruch, you'll also want to rise up onto your tiptoes. And on Yimloch, you'll do it there as well. You don't typically do it on Shema or Ani. Not necessary there. Okay, so I think, you just quickly look at it. I think that pretty much does cover it. So hopefully this is helpful to you. And the next one, the next tutorial is going to be the Kaddish Shalem, the full Kaddish that comes at the end of the Amidah, whether it's a Hoicha Kedusha